What is up, guys? It's Swimmer here, back again with some more Go Battle League action. Going to be doing these battles in the Great League, all three leagues plus, I can't remember, Master League, Premier Cup, Ultra League, Premier Cup, plus one of the Premier Cups is back. Uh, and so I generally perform best in the Great League. I think it's the most fun, so I'm going to be doing these battles in the Great League. Going to be trying out a new team of Venusaur Double Fire. So this is a team that, um, well, I've kind of wanted to try the double fire idea for a little while, and I think that Venusaur is probably the best bet. With the fire types in the back, you definitely need a hard cover for the water types and the ground and rock types, and Venusaur covers all of those reasonably well. You can also go with um, Meganium on the lead, I think. The trade-off there is that Meganium probably does a little bit better against like an Alolan Marowak, which is a pretty tough Pokemon to deal with, whereas Venusaur does a little bit better against fighters and against Pokemon like Tropius. And Tropius on the lead otherwise can potentially be a bit of a problem. Also, having the Sludge Bomb as an opportunity to hit an Altaria for neutral damage is pretty important, but honestly, if you see Altaria with this team, you basically lose right away. Certainly a double shielded Altaria might be able to sweep all three Pokemon here, so that's basically game over if you see Altaria. But let's go ahead and get right into the battles. Yeah, so I've had a lot of fun using this team. You might be able to make the argument that Marowak would be a better fire type to use than Ninetales. Ninetales is my current safe swap. But the problem with Marowak is that you might draw out an Umbreon as much as a counter to a fire type. So here, Azumarill on the lead, this is exactly where we want to see it. So obviously we're going to be staying in this matchup. And I'm going to be building up a bunch of energy here. I'm totally fine to let this hit me. I lagged a little bit off the start, so they're further ahead on energy than they should be. But we're going to go ahead, take the Ice Beam, and go for the Frenzy Plant here. And then they let it go through. They have a Marowak in the back, so this isn't bad, but they swapped into it, so it means that I can get my Ninetales on it. And Ninetales is likely my best counter to this Marowak. I do shield a Bone Club, which is not great for me. They definitely had the Shadow Bone, so but good bait on their side. We're going to go for the Psyshock here. The Psyshock damage is really going to add up. I am going to have to let this next one come through. There's a Shadow Bone there, so not great for us. We're going to go for a Psyshock here, and we're really hoping to connect with this Psyshock, but they do shield. Would have been very good for us if we could connect with that, but not able to. They're going to throw again, and I'm going to, at this point, let it go. What I'm hoping to do here is come in with Castform and really aggressively farm this Alolan Marowak. So I'm going to farm up a ton of energy here. I am going to shield this. It could be a Shadow Bone. They actually go for the Bone Club, so not great for me. They go for a Sack Swap on the Azu, so very good that I did not throw my energy there. So we have a bunch of energy now. Have to see what they come in with. They come in with an Abomasnow. Very surprising. We're just going to go for the Weather Ball here, take them out right away. That's definitely going to one-shot. They come in now with Marowak and can go for another Weather Ball here. And nothing they have can one-shot us, so they decide to let it go. We were just going to be able to amber them down. So Alolan Marowak in the back is a tricky Pokemon because it does well against both of these fire types, but Abomasnow in the back was able to make up for that because that is just Abomasnow's worst nightmare. So, able to take that matchup. Seeing the Azu on the lead is good. The goal with this team is always to draw out a water type with Venusaur and ensure that your Venusaur can get onto that water type. Alright, looking for another matchup here. Yeah, this is a matchup. This team with Ninetales getting Weather Ball and the Ember buff for Castform definitely seems a lot more viable. The Fire types types previously had a real problem against Galarian Stunfisk, but it's a much better matchup now, and I think in the two shields it's pretty comfortable for both of these Pokemon. So um, it's sort of made fire types at least a little bit more playable in the Great League. So we have Venusaur into Venusaur. I could stay, but there's really no reason to because I have two better counters, and like I said, I really need to draw out the water types that are in the back. So because they stayed in and they threw at 4 fire spins, I knew that was going to be a frenzy plant, so no need for me to shield. And there's no reason for me not to throw this weather ball. This forces a shield or would basically KO that Venusaur, so it was really good for me to get that weather ball off on the Venusaur. They come in with Stunfisk, and we can land a weather ball. You guys can see that does quite a lot of damage, and I'm perfectly fine to let the Ninetales go down. I have Venusaur and Castform, both of which can handle this at this point. I'm going to come in now with the Venusaur and look to throw right away. I would have built up more. I was expecting them to throw a Rock Slide, to be honest, but they decided not to. So we're just going to throw the Frenzy Plant to take them out right away. Have to see what they come back in with. It's another Venusaur, so we're going to go into Castform here, and this is going to put them in a bit of a tricky spot. They've got a Sableye in the back. So we're looking pretty good here. We can definitely double shield our Castform here, and there's really nothing that they're going to be able to do. Building up a lot of energy, going to go for a Weather Ball here. This is a matchup where the Ember buff really makes a big difference because if you connect with one Weather Ball, you can pretty comfortably Ember down. I am going to go throw back to back here, hoping to get that last shield. And we do get the last shield. That's quite good for us. And looking to farm down here, we are going to shield again. Likely that Venusaur does have a charge move, so they might win CMP and actually KO us. Yeah, so we're not going to be able to get off this Weather Ball, but it's totally fine because they're out of energy now, and one Sludge Bomb wouldn't KO anyways, so we're just going to be able to go for a Sludge Bomb here, take them out with our Venusaur, and that's going to be a good game. So we're able to get a shield advantage early with Ninetales forcing a shield on the Venusaur before they swapped out. And then from there, it was just Castform in the back with 2 shields was able to carry that game. All right, getting into the next battle here, we have Venusaur into Marowak. So this is not great for us. We're going to swap out right away into our Alolan Ninetales. We end up drawing out a Pelipper. So Pelipper is definitely not a Pokemon that we want to see. We're not going to shield the Weather Ball because it will not KO. And what I'm going to look to do here is get to, well, throw off basically as many Psyshocks as I can. I knew that I couldn't build up all the way to Solar Beam there because they would just Wing Attack me down or throw another Weather Ball before I threw a Charge move. So I'm going to go for 2 Psyshocks though, and that's going to be enough to force a shield anyways. And now, basically this Pelipper is going to be building up to the Hurricane, and we hope that we can get in. Yeah, we're able to get into this Frenzy Plant before they get to the Hurricane, so this puts them in a pretty tough spot. They need to decide whether it's worth it to shield to throw all that energy, and they don't. So that's pretty good for us. Pelipper went down with a lot of energy. They come back in with Alolan Marowak. We're going to go ahead and shield up our Castform. We do correctly shield a Shadow Bone, so that's quite good. And then really we just need to hope that our Castform is good against whatever's in the back as well, because this Alolan Marowak is going to be able to get us fairly low. So I'm going to throw the Weather Ball into this Alolan Marowak. We do get a shield, which is pretty good for us. I guess they were worried about the Solar Beam. We go for another Weather Ball, and we're getting it fairly low here. So this is probably going to be a Shadow Bone. It won't be enough to take us out, but it does put us down fairly low. And this Weather Ball is going to get them very low. And we should just barely be able to Ember down. Yeah, we can Ember down there. And it's a Shiftry in the back, so that's why they were staying in there with that Marowak. The fact that they didn't swap out was definitely a tell that Shiftry was going to have a lot of play. We throw the Weather Ball. Almost one-shot, so we can go ahead and swap into our Venusaur now. Foul Play does not take us out. If it did, the one Ember would have taken them out, and the Ember damage registers before the Snarl damage, so that's why I was very safe swapping out there. Um, but Venusaur is able to Vine Whip down the Shiftry before they can take us out. So looking pretty good so far. 3-0 so far in the set, so hopefully we can get another couple good matches here. Like I said, I've had so much fun with this team. Fire is such an underutilized type in the Great League, and it's because for a long time Azumarill was just so common. Water types in general are so common that it's tough to be a fire type, man. It's you just have a lot of not very great matchups, even against like a Galarian Stunfisk, one of the most common steel types, where steel is something that you really want fire for. They've got Earthquake and Rock Slide, so it's just not a comfortable situation to be in. But I still like to find ways to use them. So Ninetales on the lead. I'm going to go ahead and swap out right away. It is a Charm Ninetales, which means that my Venusaur doesn't actually have a terrible matchup here. Diggersby comes in. I do not charge up to fake the Solar Beam here, because they would be able to get to an Earthquake before I got to the Solar Beam energy, and I want to make sure that I get some energy off. So I am going to throw 2 Weather Balls here. Not going to shield this. If it's an Earthquake, so be it. It is an Earthquake. They have definitely close to 100 energy, so probably 1 more Mud Shot, and they'll throw a Fire Punch. So I'm going to come in now with Venusaur. Yeah, 1 more Mud Shot, and the Fire Punch is coming in. Not going to shield this. I need to save my shields. And now I'm going to look to aggressively Vine Whip this down. They're going to get off another Fire Punch here. So I am going to shield once to preserve a little bit of health on the Venusaur. So we're able to shield that. And then we've got a lot of loaded energy here that Ninetales comes back in. I can go for the Sludge Bomb. And if they don't shield, this is going to deal a ton of damage. It deals a ton of damage, so much damage. They're going to swap into the Castform, hope to take them out. They come in with Vigoroth. So very important there before I swapped out that I built up to a Frenzy Plant. So I do have a Frenzy Plant banked on the Venusaur. And I can go ahead and shield up that Body Slam. I'm going to look to land a Weather Ball here. And really what I want to do with Castform is burn both shields. If I can burn both shields, then Frenzy Plant will KO. So hopefully we get a shield here. We do get a shield. That's going to be a good game. Frenzy Plant from Venusaur is definitely going to KO, and Venusaur should win CMP against Vigoroth, I think. I'm not positive, actually, but I think it probably does. Go for the Frenzy Plant. That is going to be definitely enough damage to take them out. And then that Alolan Ninetales in the back has almost no health. Yeah, comes in and goes down to 1 Vine Whip. And that's going to be a good game. So able to take that one. So going really well so far in this set. Let's see if we can get into one last battle in this set. So if you guys didn't know, this is actually the last week where you're going to be able to gain ranking towards your end of season rating. I didn't realize this at first, but the Kanto Cup is not going to count towards ranking, so if you're looking to rank up, you only have a few more days to do it. I certainly didn't know that until this week, because I don't think Niantic's done a great job at pushing that information and making it well known. But just keep that in mind that if you're looking to rank up, you only have a few days left. Yeah, if you're close, you can still definitely get to some more battles, and definitely rank up if you have a good run. Speaking of the Kanto Cup, you can probably run basically this team with Marowak instead of Castform. I don't know how well it will work, though, because Alolan Muck will be a big problem. So last match here, we get Stunfisk on the lead, and guys, I think it's a mistake here to stay in with the Venusaur. Yes, Venusaur has a reasonably positive matchup with Stunfisk. It's pretty neutral, but I need to draw out the water types with my Venusaur. So I really need to save this and go into a fire type. So we're going to go for another Frenzy here to force a shield. And then I'm going to build up to another Frenzy, and This is likely going to be an Earthquake. I'm really hoping it's a Rock Slide, but it is in fact an Earthquake, so not looking great for me. I'm going to build up to the Frenzy, and then I've got to swap out. I need to save that Frenzy plant in case they have a Water type, and there's that Water type. So I really needed to swap out earlier. That Venusaur now is low enough that, I can't really get into a situation where this Jellicent gets low and then I farm it down, right? So that's why I say I needed to swap out earlier, because if I could have drawn out this Jellicent earlier, then Venusaur could have come in and probably gotten a hefty farm. This Shadow Ball is going to hurt, but probably won't KO. Yeah, it does not KO, and they actually throw another charge move here, so this Jellicent's completely energy dry. So with a little more health on the Venusaur, I could farm this down, get a bunch of energy, but instead what I'm going to have to do is come into Castform and look to farm down with Castform, and they've actually got a Pelipper, so I'm going to swap quickly into Venusaur to throw the Frenzy Plant and force the last shield. We do force the last shield, and then basically I'm out of options here. So I can try and build up to the Solar Beam. I made a stupid mistake here. I thought that they were going to swap into Stunfisk and throw a Rock Slide, but their switch clock isn't up, so that was really just a dumb call. But as it turned out, I wouldn't have made it to the Solar Beam before that next Weather Ball came through anyways. So basically I was out of options anyway. You cut it. I would have been able to KO the Pelipper, but then I would have been way too low to take out the Jellicent, and I would have been energy dry, so the Stunfisk could have thrown its Rock Slide that it had banked on me anyways. So last match, I think probably there would have been a win con, but I had to swap out right away out of that Stunfisk matchup into the Fire type, and just accept that likely I would, if they stayed in, not be able to win against the Fire type unless I invested 2 shields, or sorry, against the Stunfisk unless I invested 2 shields. But likely they definitely would have just swapped out because they had 2 better responses, 2 water types in the back, and then Venusaur could have come in and gotten a pretty decent farm off of one of those 2 water types. It probably would have been the Jellicent, since that's what they came into. Alright, Venusaur into Tropius. This is not a good matchup for us, so we got to go right away into Ninetales. And my opponent is staying in. I was expecting them to try and catch here. They didn't, so I'm just going to go straight for the Weather Ball. This is going to really put a hurt on if they don't shield. They don't shield, so that Tropius is only at a quarter health left. This is going to be an Aerial Ace. No need for me to shield. Does not do too much, and it's a Stunfisk coming in, so I'm going to throw 3 more Fire Spins and then a Weather Ball, hoping that they're going to throw Rock Slide right away, and this is a CMP tie. We do get a shield. But they did build up some extra energy, and then they throw on the next CMP just before we get to the Weather Ball, basically half a turn before. So good counting by my opponent, but definitely puts me in a pretty good spot here, to be honest, because I've got a shield advantage. Can come in with Venusaur. I'm not going to shield. I think this will be a Rock Slide bait. It is a Rock Slide bait. Going to build up some extra energy. They're going to definitely throw another Rock Slide here. Still not going to shield. Hoping that my Castform in the back is going to have a lot of play. Given that their response to the Fire type was a Stunfisk, I think there's a good chance of that. Able to take out the Stunfisk with the Frenzy Plant, and it's a Sableye in the back. So pretty interesting they didn't come in with Sableye against Ninetales in the first place, to be honest, but this is actually totally fine for us. We're up 2 shields to 1. We match the pace of Sableye in terms of getting to those charge moves, and we're bulkier. So we can just double shield this, then throw the Weather Ball against the Sableye here. This is basically going to be enough to KO, maybe a couple more HP to take it out, and then we can definitely farm down that Tropius with Ember. And actually my opponent decides to surrender there. So good match there. Again, 2 shields on the Castform in the back was the key to winning that match. Alright, I think I have a pretty long queue time next, so I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, there we are. Venusaur into Mew. Okay, so here is a match that I think I misplayed. I go straight into Ninetales thinking that, Mew is a Psychic type. I need to draw out the Water type. But Mew is weird, guys. Mew generally runs Surf and Wild Charge, so Venusaur is definitely the best response to Mew on my team, and I probably should have just stayed in. Because the Surf, one, they're getting to the Surfs faster than it seems like they ought to be. It should be at least pretty close to me getting to the Weather Balls, but they were definitely clearly outpacing me. And now they're going to be able to farm down. Not going to be very good for us. However, we can come back in with Venusaur now, and because they've shown Surf, they almost certainly have Wild Charge or Grass Knot for the Azu. We're not going to shield on our Venusaur. It is a Wild Charge, so it is resisted, and we're able to farm them down. But then there's a Skarmory in the back, and you guys can see switch advantage was very important there. If I'd stayed in with the Venusaur against the Mew, which I do think is actually the right play since you're resisting both the Surf and the Wild Charge. Then the two fire types in the back definitely could have handled Scrafty and Skarmory. Scrafty is a tricky one, but Skarmory is just the fire types don't do so well against Skarmory. You cleanly outpace them, and you're dealing super effective damage. So I think it was definitely a mistake to swap out of that opening matchup. So, but again, this is a pretty new team for me, so definitely still learning what the best way to play it is. Actually, I think this is where I had the really long QP time, so I'm going to skip ahead. Yeah, I could not find a match. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, I couldn't find a match there for several minutes, so I went and caught a Pokemon, see if that made it better. Alright, Venusaur now into Pelipper. This is definitely where we want to see the Pelipper. So basically, what we're hoping for here is that we can win it in the one shield. So we're going to go ahead and build up to a little more than a Frenzy Plant. This is before they got to the Hurricane, so I'm okay letting it come through, knowing it will just be a Weather Ball. Going to throw the Frenzy Plant here, and if they shield, then I will shield up a Weather Ball in order to make sure that I can get off another Frenzy Plant, because that's definitely my most threatening move to this Pelipper. So I'm going to throw the Frenzy Plant, really hoping that they don't shield. They do shield, so at this point I got to swap out into Ninetales. No point in getting farmed down. And Weather Ball is likely to do the most damage out of their remaining charge moves since it is super effective. So I'm just going to go ahead and shield that and go straight for the Psyshock. I need to get rid of this Pelipper. It's very bad for my backline, and fortunately, the Psyshock basically takes it out. They come in with a Galarian Stunfisk, so this is pretty good. It means that my Castform likely has a fair bit of play, and the Weather Ball really hurts. They need to throw an Earthquake here, otherwise I will survive. They do throw the Earthquake, and then I just need to really hope that I can farm down with the Castform. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we are able to farm down before they get to the rock slide. They were just getting the energy on that last clutch shot, so very good for us. And it's a Meganium in the back. This is game over. That Pelipper is not out of move yet, and this Weather Ball is going to deal so much damage. Able to connect with the Weather Ball and then farm it down. They could not get to the Earthquake. The Pelipper in the back is way too low, so my opponent decides to surrender. So Pelipper, if they double shield, is a pretty tricky lead because they will be able to feint down the Venusaur on the strength of the wing attack damage, but you can leave with a shield advantage, and then basically you need to get to that Psyshock with the Ninetales to take them out. Alright, getting into the next matchup here, Venusaur into Altaria. This is game over already, right? So my only hope here is to swap into Ninetales and hope that they have something very weak to Venusaur in the back that they swap into to try and avoid matching up against later. But they're not falling for it. They're just staying in here. I'm dealing resisted Fire Spin damage. They're dealing neutral Dragon Breath. They're much bulkier. They actually swap into Deoxys and make a really great catch. So that Psyshock does basically nothing. Going to go for a Weather Ball here. We really would have liked to get um, a Weather Ball off instead of the Psyshock. You can see that would have done a lot more damage, and as a matter of fact, we wouldn't have been able to get one more Weather Ball, so great catch by my opponent. And now, my only win condition here is to basically farm this down and hope that they don't shield a Sludge Bomb. So we take one Rock Slide, hoping that they don't have Psycho Boost. So I'm going to take another Rock Slide here. Yeah, it's another Rock Slide. I am going to have to shield up the next one, but we're going to go for a really aggressive farm down. We are going to shield this, and then we're down 2 shields to none, and they've still got a very healthy Altaria. Going to go for the Sludge Bomb. Really need them to not shield this, and they don't. That is good. So they need to have like a Skarmory in the back or something like that, or something, Abomasnow in the back. That's what we need. But it is a Medicham. That's not going to do it for us. The Medicham is going to be able to shield up these Weather Balls, and really all they need to do is get to a Psychic. They're actually going to go for a Power Up Punch here instead. Doesn't really matter. They're just going to be able to counter down. Yeah, we can get to another Weather Ball here, but no big deal. Again, if you see Altaria with this team, you pretty much instantly lose. I don't think that there was really a win con for me against this team, no matter what I did. I guess maybe if they hadn't managed to catch the Psyshock on the Deoxys and it had been a Weather Ball, maybe they would have thrown. Maybe what would have happened then is I could have thrown. They might have shielded one Weather Ball, and I could have still farmed down, but it would have been a little less health. And yeah, it's just tough to know. All right, Abomasnow on the lead. Got to swap out of there. They come into Azumarill, so this is generally what you're trying to do with this team is draw out the Azumarill. You want to build up to 8 Fire Spins because that's how much you need for Solar Beam. And basically the goal is to get a shield. They don't take the bait and shield, so totally fine. We're just going to get as much side shock damage as we can. Usually the Azumarill will shield there, respecting the Solar Beam damage. If they don't, then they're going to be in a situation like this, where you can come in with your Venusaur and farm down all of the health on the Azu and leave with a lot of energy, because you can definitely get off 2 side shocks. They did show Hydro Pump already, so it's likely Hydro Pump play rough, so I'm not going to shield this. Even if it's Ice Beam, I'm okay just letting it go. And we're going to farm all of this down. Yeah, so we have so much energy now. Abomasnow is coming back in. We can go for a Sludge Bomb, which will basically force a shield. We do force a shield. We can come into Castform now, and that's going to be a very bad time for the Abomasnow. Cresselia in the back. This is almost certainly running Moonblast and Grass Knot, which are resisted by Castform, so we're in a very good spot here. Going to build up to the Solar Beam, hoping to get the last shield, and go for the Weather Ball here. If they shield, I can go for the Solar Beam. They don't shield, so at this point I can just go Weather Ball spam, and this Castform is going to be able to really start putting in work against this Cresselia. I'm going to go ahead and shield this next charge move, just because I got 2 shields. May as well use them. I want to preserve a little bit of health and get to this next Weather Ball. They're going to be forced to shield here. Otherwise, it's going to be Abomasnow against Castform. They do shield, but really it doesn't matter at this point because I can either shield this or not. I decide not to, as I think the Weather Ball from Abomasnow would deal more damage. And then I've got a Weather Ball banked myself against this Abomasnow that's going to certainly be able to one-shot it. I still had like 40 energy at least on my Venusaur as well, so I still had a ton of energy left and could have probably gotten to the Sludge Bomb as well. But very good match there. The Abomasnow, even if you see it on the lead, there's just so many ways around it with this team that even though it's quite a bad lead, it's generally not a problem because you've got the 2 fire types, and Venusaur with a big energy lead like that and the Sludge Bomb can really, really threaten Abomasnow. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is a super fun team, so if you want to try it out, feel free. But yeah, Canter Cup starts in a few days, so hope you guys are able to get as much ranking as you want in the next few days, and we'll see you in the next video.